Hello, it is I, Professor Hall, and today I'm joined by another professor from the department. Please introduce yourself, Professor Classroom.
I'm Professor Classroom, and I will not be joining in very much today because I am busy watching a game of Quidditch between Brazil and Japan.
Ah, that is very cool. Now let us continue playing this brilliant video game where you dodge bullets. Now, here we are going to avoid these enemies. Also, I should narrate to Professor Classroom as he is too busy watching the Quidditch. Okay, so now I am getting attacked by some enemies, and now I must dodge their bullets. So I am going to attack this enemy until it becomes tired, and it became tired. So now I may finally use the pacify spell in order to weaken it and end this wretched battle, as it is very scary to get attacked by these scary monsters. They are very scary. Okay, now let me continue walking into this fine video game pixelated world where pixels pack a pixelated punch. Okay, now I am jumping from platform to platform. Oh yes, as Professor Classroom might not know, in this indie game where you dodge bullets, in this chapter, the chapter's main gimmick is that the game becomes a platformer game. So retro.
Like Super Mario Brothers?
Yes, just like in my time at the Cambridge University, I used to play Super Mario Brothers. And Super Mario Brothers is a very good game in that it represents the values that I think a good professor must have. You must collect the mushrooms in this life. You must not live like a sad normal plumber. You must go into a magical world. You must go into a magical mushroom kingdom, which is not too different from the fine Her Majesty's Victorian English land. What was it called again? The British Empire or something. Was that even a thing? At the time of Queen Victoria. Because so basically Professor Hall made the Victoria line. So it starts in Brixton and it goes north.
Starts at Brixton and it goes through the circus of Oxford.
Ah, yes.
And then it leads to somewhere I have forgotten.
What? Somewhere you have forgotten? I thought you studied this at Cambridge. You studied transport studies. Not? Did you not?
I've forgotten my transport.
No! I am going to ask the Dean that you retake said module, as this is unacceptable.
It was my least favorite module.
My favorite module was numbers, sets, and functions, where they taught us how to calculate. So how to calculate what grade we need and how many ECs we need to take.
Don't be silly. In number sets and functions, they taught numbers.
So so they taught us several numbers, such as the number 7.
The number 7?
Yes, the number 7.
Number 6?
But what is the number 6?
5?
So number 6 is like a chicken burger, right? But served by the professor. Served by the professors in green.
Professors in green?
The professors draped in green, learning and teaching.
Oh, fiddlesticks and barnyards!
What is happening?
The Japanese have just scored in this game of Quidditch.
Wait a minute. Had this game of Quidditch
Curse
not
you,
already...
Japan. Curse this game. This wretched game.
I think you might want to reconsider your choices of game, good Professor Classroom. Because you should be playing the indie game where you dodge bullets.
I do not care about your Runa doubts. Japan has just scored in this game of Quidditch.
No! Why? The game of Quidditch should be preserved by the great students. Why are they losing against the Japanese? The Japanese have not traded in years. How are they able to win without any ships? How are they able to transport their players if they have no ships? This does not make a single ampule of sense.
I agree, which is why I am so upset.
Because...
Not to worry, Brazil will come back and they will be able to score.
Yes, indeed. Remember, if Brazil scores, the viewers must like and subscribe.
Yes. What is currently happening in your game of Runa Delts?
Okay, currently in the game of Runa Delts, we have unlocked one of the last warp doors, which is like the thing that opens near the end of the chapter. However, we have still not unlocked the secret boss, not on the save file. So basically, this is the part of the game where you must complete an obstacle course, just like the obstacle courses they made us do back in Cambridge. Part of our PE curriculum.
Part of physical education.
Yes, physical education is very important because physical education allows you to learn about forces, about mechanics. It is very important to learn about physical education, because without physical education, how are you going to calculate the force on a pulley? The answer is you may not. Yes, yes. Great Professor Classroom.
Tomorrow I am going to your house.
Yes, in my halls of residence.
In your homes of residence. And if Brazil loses in this game Quidditch, I think something very bad will happen to the both of us. Because I will be so upset that I may cause some wrongdoings.
Oh no, dear heavens! What may these wrongdoings entail? Please do not destroy my. Please do not destroy. I don't. What does Professor Hole own? Do not delete Subnautica 2 from my computer, as this would cause me a great deal of distress. It would make me cry.
I will, but if the viewers of this current video like and subscribe, and it reaches 1,000 likes, then I think a warp will be created in the space-time continuum, traveling back in time to change the scores of this Quidditch game.
Wait, so what are the current scores and how many minutes are left, good Professor Classroom?
There are roughly 60 minutes left. Currently, Japan is leading with a score of 1 in this Quidditch game.
Very well. I, Professor Hall, approve of... Wait, no, I disapprove of Japan. I did not just implicitly support Japan. I hate Japan when it's compared to Brazil. Of course, no offense to my Japanese viewers. Your country makes great snacks. Especially...
And video games.
Yes, and video games. Such as Super Mario Brothers, which, as mentioned previously, I play for copious hours every day. We're going to bed.
Is the game Deltarune like Super Mario Brothers?
Yes, you can jump, because in this fine chapter they have introduced a gameplay mechanic where you are allowed to jump. Isn't this so retro? Isn't this so retro, reminiscent
Yes.
of a fine era of video games such as Super Mario Brothers and Subway Surfers?
I remember that game.
So
That
in
brings
Subway
back
Surfers you
memories
have...
of a past.
Yes! So a Subway Surfers you have a fine... So in Subway Surfers you have a Renaissance... Did the Renaissance happen before Victorian England? I appear to have forgotten history. I think
Victorian
yes.
England happened after.
It was way after. It was way after the Renaissance. It was way after the Renaissance, because how could you have factories before you had like castles? You definitely had fine castles before you had modern factories, because for the last 10 years factories have existed.
Maybe you need the factories to build the castle.
Oh, such a great point brought up, dear Professor Classroom. This is... Yes, thank you for introducing yourself once more, Professor Classroom, for our viewers that may have forgotten. Are you familiar with another professor in our same department of alchemy?
Who?
His name, if I am not mistaken, is Professor Baldi.
Professor Baldi! Of course! I know him very well.
You know, Professor Baldi tried to steal my research.
Ah, of course.
Because he asked me a maths problem and I answered it too quickly.
Ah, he does that from time to time.
Because, and of course, to the viewer that thought I was about to say I answered it incorrectly, I am very, very disappointed. How dare you think I, the great Professor Hall, would get a math problem incorrectly, as I have studied at the prestigious University of Cambridge, where the bridges flow deep in a mathematical zone. And another thing I may add, I think I have just unlocked, yes, the secret boss of this chapter. All I must do now is go back to a shop. Okay, let us do this. Also, Professor Classroom, can you confirm that indeed this is the first time I have played this game where you dodge bullets?
Yes. Sure.
Because so
I'm
basically,
starting.
I have a little brother named Professor Hallway, who is younger than myself and has played a few extra hours. So he's played 2 exact extra hours than me. And his save file appears on the screen. So can you confirm that indeed this is Professor Hall's first time playing this fine video game where you dodge the bullets?
Yes.
That is very good that we are hearing from Professor Classroom himself. Do you think it would be possible for us to do a fine collab with the great Professor Baldi sometime?
Professor Baldi, of course.
But one thing I will say is that Professor Baldi, I find him quite terrifying because he carries around a large metal ruler with which he is not afraid to cause great stress and attack. Dodging Professor Baldi's bullet is like trying to dodge bullets. Did I say bullets? I meant ruler. Trying to dodge Professor Baldi's ruler is like trying to dodge a bullet in a video game where you dodge bullets.
Does he hit you so fast?
Yes, it is like a bullet. It is like a quick bullet. Wait, have bullets been invented yet in the Victorian England period?
Yes, I think so. Muskets.
Ah, yes.
Such.
Yes, as this channel is very historically accurate. I am playing on a Victorian computer. Isn't that right? I'm playing this on a Victorian... Yes, of course, I engineered this computer with my own 2 hands. And I made
watching
an
this
operating...
game of Quidditch on a Victorian television set.
Yes, indeed. And we are talking through a Victorian messaging tube. It's a pipe. It's a pipe that goes from one building to another. And it transmits sound.
Yes.
But how does this thing work? Professor Classroom, could you explain the physics of how this works?
How it works?
Yes, please.
Well... the sound travels down the tube to the other side.
Ah! Using the sonar technology that I invented in my laboratory the other day. When I was crafting potions. I was crafting some potions and I accidentally made a metal contraption that transmits sound. So basically, I was mixing around the mixture with a spoon. And the spoon turned into a skibbity toilet. And it made a metal contraption, so the skibbity toilet built it. However, I made a good commercial deal with the skibbity toilet, allowing me full rights to his invention.
You always have to do such things.
Yes, exactly. Because in this day and age, it is getting very expensive to make your own inventions. You know, the cost of living in the Victorian era is going up so much. And I think this is because of various high-class figures such as King Henry. Queen Victoria, what?
No, but King Henry, he doesn't meddle with the politics a bit.
Yes, this King Henry.
You cannot deny his influence in British politics.
Yes, even though it is a different. Yes. How does he have all this influence? Also, I have failed to mention this to you, as the secret boss of this chapter is literally like an annoying anime girl, which I think is rather cringe, as I think there's a certain group of people who play this game that I think this is simply overselling the game to.
Well, Professor Hall, you know how much disdain I have for anime girls, because anime girls are Japanese, and currently Japanese are beating my favorite team in this game of Quidditch. So, as far as you know, anime girls are the worst thing on this planet.
The worst thing on this planet, worse even than the University of Oxford.
Because the nation of Japan, for them, are beating Brazil in this game of Quidditch.
What?
I will not stand for this, so I will
What?
not stand for anime girls.
No! But what if Brazil, the Quidditch team, start scoring well all of a sudden?
Then that would only be because of the draft in time created by people liking and subscribing in the future.
Ah, yes. Okay, guys, you heard Professor Classroom. Now you must like and subscribe the video. Like the video and subscribe to the channel, as it would be rather illogical if you liked the channel and subscribed to the video. As how are you to subscribe to a video? It is not a channel. A video cannot update you on the latest indie games where you dodge bullets, or the latest indie game, well, no, corporate games pretending to be indie where you run away from various terrifying fish creatures. Also, I am dying to this boss battle currently, which I think is rather distressing, especially since this is not even phase 3 of this boss battle, of which there are 4, as not as I know, but my brother, Professor Hallway, has told me. And I just got a game over screen. This was because the controller disconnected and not because of my own lack of skill. Isn't this true, Professor Classroom?
I'm sure it is.
And could you please confirm that that was not a sarcastic remark? As I know that there are some people watching this channel that know literature.
No, I do not make sarcastic remarks. I hate sarcasm. Everything I say is with full heart.
Ah, yes. Thank you very much, good Professor Classroom, for clarifying this matter. As there are way too many people, especially in academia, that very much overuse the sarcasm that we see causing many problems in society nowadays. And so now I am currently surviving this boss battle. Is Brazil, the fine Quidditch team, surviving and holding up well against the Japanese Quidditch team? I am holding up quite well against this boss battle for once, as it has a bomb attack, which is notoriously difficult, especially because this bomb attack, I think it is a good parody that this good game developer has made of our enemies in the Near East, and how they overuse their bomb attacks.
Days in London and in Manchester, I have become very good at dodging.
Wow, how so?
I will not, as I am busy watching Game of Quidditch.
That makes a lot of sense, because Quidditch is a very important game, especially for the good team of Brazil, who have a great history of playing Quidditch. Because when the English, the Victorian English, and as Victorian English people we would know this, they graduated from Hogwarts, they would go straight to Brazil in order to study Quidditch.
Quidditch, yes.
So I myself had taken the admissions test for the Brazilian Quidditch Institute. However, I have failed that test, I am very sadly saying, because I failed to hit the Quidditch ball into the Quidditch basket.
Into the Quidditch basket. Let me tell you, this game, this cup of Quidditch is being hosted in the American Wizardry School.
Wow, the American.
Yes.
Well, what is this America you speak of, good colleague, Professor Classroom?
Well,
I have not heard of such a place, America.
I think you are mistaken in your time period, sir. America has been discovered since Queen Elizabeth.
Oh!
There's been a colony there since Queen Elizabeth.
Queen Elizabeth, you say?
Yes.
Well, Queen Elizabeth, as far as I am aware, has also not come, as Queen Elizabeth does not appear until the year 1990 something, which does not exist yet. And I have time traveled, so I know.
There's another before. There's one before.
There's one before?
Yes.
What? What trickery? Have you been hanging out with a certain sorcerer that I will not name? Have you been hanging out with that sorcerer? As I think that is rather suspicious. Why would you hang out with a suspicious sorcerer?
School.
That is so suspicious. Okay.
It seems it has the half time. The time.
What is the current score in this game of Quidditch, good colleague?
Japan is still winning.
What? Even against the great Brazilian famous Quidditch team?
Yes.
What is this absolute rubbish? This is such absolute rubbish.
I am currently watching the commercials for this cup of Quidditch.
Wait, the homunculus? You are watching a homunculus?
The commercials.
Oh, the commercials! Yes, yes. For a good second there, I was confused about the nature of your narration of what action you were partaking in. Good colleague.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Professor Who?
Yes, of course. Or in my academy, yes?
What in the green earth of Sprunkies
in Sprunky?
Subnauticus and Runaduts does
Wait, Professor Classroom! Professor Classroom has left! What? What is this madness? I will send him a letter. No! Professor Classroom! We need you back in the fine engineering department. He has sent me a letter back saying that he shall return. I have told them you have sent me a letter signaling your intention to return. Whoa, you have returned!
I apologize. I had some things to do.
Welcome back, good Professor Classroom. I am currently in the third and hardest phase of the secret boss of this fine chapter of the Runadelts video game. And I still don't know how this weird computer invention works. Because, like, how does this thing show a video game where you dodge bullets on it? How does this thing work?
It is with our electricity.
Electricity? Has that been invented yet?
I think so.
Okay, why did the electricity cross the road? Is a joke I would like to tell the audience. Oh, come on, not this fucking attack. Okay, oh, sorry for my bad language. Okay, luckily I have dodged.
Period. No. Victorian period.
So the Victorian period comes before the Elizabethan period. And the Elizabethan period was about like Shakespeare and Stormzy, right? So there was a great playwright named Stormzy.
Stormzy, yes.
And he...
From 1837 to 1901.
Absolutely. And I am a great fan of Stormzy's plays. Especially, I like his play Forgetting Me History.
That is my favorite poem.
It is about forgetting history. And just like how I have forgotten history, and so it seems, even though it happens in the future.
But your specialty is mathematics.
No, it is engineering, good sir. Because mathematics, it is not just like engineering. It is a field of knowledge, not just a field. Mathematics allows me to calculate how much HP I will lose on the next attack.
I see.
And the answer is 0. Because I am one of the greatest players of indie games, where you dodge bullets. No other player has as obsessively as me replayed the Chapter 3 secret boss. I spent several months undergoing a training in that boss battle. Because it's very difficult, it comes along with a plot twist in the game, and it is also made by... So basically, in the game, there is an evil man making so-called dark worlds. And you expect, ooh, this evil man who makes dark worlds will only appear at the very end of this game. Ha! You are greatly mistaken if you think of such a thing, because in fact, this individual appears early on in the game as a plot twist. And now I have basically finished the boss battle. I got very lucky here. All I need to do now is do well in a tile-based reaction challenge, which should not be very difficult for the great Professor Hall. However, I do need to lock in, just like the players of Quidditch should currently.
I love it when my video games have random mini games in them.
Yes, indeed. Come on, come on. Have I won? Have I won? Yes! 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 Hooray! Say hooray with me, Professor Classroom.
Yeah.
As we have triumphed. Because this is the part of the boss battle where the boss dramatically stops attacking the player. A common trope in the games made by this fine programmer named Tobias Foxington. Yes.
Foxington.
Yes. The famous programmer who uses Victorian computers to make video games.
How do you know? How do you know what will happen with the boss?
Because my younger brother, Professor Hollington. Wait, no, was it I think it was Professor Hallway.
How can you forget your own brother's first name?
Okay, I will be completely honest, Professor Classroom. I lied. My younger brother, Professor Hallway, was actually none but myself.
And I vouched for you.
I am very sorry. I am soon to write a letter of apology to yourself about this matter.
You should write it to the university as well, because this lie has been told for years.
No!
For years.
Heavens! What have I done? What have I done?
Everyone
The great Professor Hall. How can I make such a mistake? How?
Everyone in the faculty thought you had 0 experience with the Runadelt Chapter 5.
This is very sad. And you know what the most part of this is? Originally, it was my first save file, and I said I would do some research as to how I should continue the game, and then continue. And I was playing on save slot 2 up until this, and afterwards I played for the last couple of episodes on save file 3, which has foreshadowed this great miscarriage of justice. I will be submitting my resignation letter as professor very soon. Especially because this YouTube website, I used to get 300 views. Now, I only get 2 views. What the hell?
That is because of your wretched lies.
Okay, perhaps that is true.
Yes.
Like, you know how the Japanese Professor Holtoko, he put a sword in his abdomen after he told a similar lie about having a brother named Professor Holotoko Woko.
Are you telling me that the same lie that you have been telling for years, the same situation, happened exactly as you have told to us in this country of Japan?
Yes, and I have been told of this by the Japanese Quidditch team, to which I have been donating most of my savings from the university.
What? You have been donating to the Japanese Quidditch team just to cause my wretched viewing today?
I am very sorry, dear Professor Classroom, but Professor Baldy made me do it.
How could Professor Baldy do this to me?
I think,
So
Professor,
very
this is very sad. Like the sad story I have been writing in my classroom. Wait, classroom? Why did I say classroom? Dear Professor Classroom, what is a classroom? Is there a proper object in the English language as of the Victorian era called a classroom?
I've been writing a song too about a sad dog named Day.
A sad dog
And a cat
named Day?
named Night.
I think I have a dog named Dog Day in my kennel. Could it be the same dog, good Professor Classroom?
Perhaps I write songs about your pets in my spare.
Have you
So
written a
what?
song about a cat named Nap and a skibbity named Toilet? Where a skibbity is an ancient thing that only existed in the Victorian period and not in the Elizabethan period.
Yes. Of course. Skibbity is a Turkish word which was brought to England.
Yes, oh,
By
those Turkish immigrants.
Queen
They're
Victoria
bringing those
herself
toilets.
on her trip. Was that
As bad as that is, at least it was not those wretched Moors. At least it was their slightly further east counterparts.
Of course.
Plus, one time I went to Africa in order to learn engineering from the finest professors there.
They do know how to build a good hut.
They know how to build a good airplane, good sir. They know how to build a good rocket.
Must I remind you of the era?
What era is it, good Professor
Must
Classroom?
I remind you of the era?
What is the current era? It is the Victorian
The
era.
Victorian period.
Yes, the Queen Victorian period. A period
Which ended
marked
in
with factories.
1901.
1901? Is that when Runa Delt Chapter 15 came out?
Yes.
Ah, yes, I see. But we don't know of this yet.
Well, when it comes out.
I built a steam-powered time machine. That is how I know.
we'd like to play around with these contraption.
Yes, indeed. How is the Quidditch game evolving, good Professor Classroom?
It hasn't begun yet. I'm still waiting for the half time to pass.
Ah, I see. On the other hand, I am about to attempt the final boss of the 5th chapter of Runa Delts, which is an ancient Greek word meaning game where you dodge bullets.
Yes. Game where you dodge.
Though, I would know a thing or two about ancient times, as I am from the Victorian period, which is also part of the ancient era.
What do you know about the ancient era?
I know that there are many classics, such as Professor Hall's Adventures 2, Professor Hall Love Story, and I think everyone watching this should read my book, Professor Hall's Love Story, where the reader gets to have a romantic experience with Professor Hall. Like the reader, so it's like Professor Hall ex-reader. And I will have you know, Professor Hall is a very tall, muscular Chad. Is this true, Professor Classroom?
Come out.
I wrote it in 10 minutes using a steam contraption that writes books.
I know some machine.
Yes, these machines, they are so powerful. I know of a sorcerer. You ask him, can I have 10 books? And within the blink of an eye, he conjures up 15. And he also is well trained in the field of engineering. They call him the engineering sorcerer. Have you heard of this fellow? I think he's a fellow at our current university that I will soon be resigning from. Actually,
this game of Quidditch
on
is
second, very well. I hope that the Brazilian team prevail in this fine game of Quidditch, as they have a history of winning with legendary players such as Quidditch Steve. His name was Quidditch Steve. Or Quidditch Stefan. I do not know the Portuguese version of said name, but it is likely something to that effect.
What's your name?
What name? So the name Stefan, does it have a Portuguese equivalent? Good Professor Classroom, as I know that in your spare time, you have been studying the Brazilian Portuguese language.
I'm not sure. It sounds like it would be the same.
Ah, I see. Thank you, great Professor Classroom. I think Professor Baldi might also know a bit about this. However, he speaks the Italian language, because there are Italian surnames that end with Baldi. Do you think there is any relation between the two?
Between Baldi and who?
Like, do you know of the Italian surnames that end with Baldi? Such as, I don't know, Garibaldi or something.
Mario Baldi?
Ah! I think,
Luigi
yeah, Luigi.
Bowser Baldi?
What about...
Oh, I know of a woman. Princess Baldi.
Ah! Princess Baldi. Do not
Yes.
tell this, but I would like to confess my love for Princess Baldi. I will use my Victorian English airplane, which is my own invention, in order to fly in this Princess Baldi, so that I may have her love.
How dare you claim it is your invention, when a few minutes ago you just said the Africans already did it?
Well, I have a good explanation, Professor Classroom.
What is your explanation?
I stole it from the Africans.
What?
I know.
How dare you?
Because I just want Professor Peach. No, not Professor Peach. A Princess Baldy.
Princess Baldy.
I want Princess Baldy's love. Is it really too much to ask for the love of a fine Princess Baldy? Okay, I will go silent for a bit because this is like the quick reaction check part of the final boss battle and near its end. Am I supposed to do what?
What was I saying before? Yes. What does artificial intelligence have to do with games of Quidditch? I've had enough of these commercials.
Whoa, which artificial intelligence? I made this machine called the GPT, which stands for General Victorian Predictive Victorian Technology. Of course, it is greatly inspired by the great Queen Victoria, who has helped us very much.
Would be the GVTVP.
No, as I have omitted the V's, so that future scientists may use the same name.
Why have they put an Neymar on the bench again? No wonder they are losing.
Neymar, the world-famous Quidditch player.
Neymar, the world-famous Quidditch player.
He is an undefeated legend. How dare they! I'm going to tell them I'm going to ask the Japanese team to refund my donations. Because how dare they! How dare they! I think if I get hit twice now, I am going back to the beginning, from the end of the boss battle to the beginning of the boss battle, which would be a great pain to myself. Therefore, I shall be locking in, as people in the Elizabethan era would be saying. Specifically, the young generation of the Elizabethan era. And just like that, I have won! I have won this fine, final boss battle! And this means I can now wait one more year for the chapter 6 of this to come out. But already I used my time machine to see the ending of chapter 7. So why would I? Why would I wait, good Professor Classroom? Also, I have used the time machine, a steam-powered time machine, to predict the ending of this match.
Yes.
Okay, so I have gone to that time to see this game of Quidditch, and I have very good news for you.
Yes.
Guess by how much this is good news. Like, how many Quidditch points do you think the Brazilian Quidditch team are going to score?
I hope for 2.
Now remember, the game of the Reconquista game that they had in Quidditch was 3. Wait, no, was it tied? It was something like that.
It was tied, yes.
And then there was another where they scored 3 against Sneakoland.
Yes.
And I think my prediction is that it is going to be another 3-0. They are going to retract the point. They are going to make Japan score -1 Quidditch point. And they are going to win 3-0.
Wretched goalkeeper. Wretched goalkeeper had to make that save.
Did he fail? What is the current standing, good Professor Classroom?
Goalkeeper. Yes, the Brazilians have failed in their Quidditch goal.
What?
It did not fall into the Quidditch net.
But remember, I have told you the prophecy. I have told you the prophecy of a 3-0 win. That this means...
Only if the viewer likes and subscribes.
Ah, yes. Hey, viewer, you must like and subscribe. Now, the fate of the Brazilian Quidditch team relies on yourself.
If you like and subscribe, you will create a time rift in time and space, which will change the results of the past.
I agree wholeheartedly with this statement. And I am
maybe
fully... Yes?
Like the butterfly effect, maybe the results of this Quidditch game changing will help you and bring you good fortune in your life.
Yes, indeed, good viewer. And in fact, I will cast a Victorian steampunk curse upon the viewer who does not like and subscribe. If you do not like and subscribe, I know a Ghanaian witch doctor who is going to cast a curse on thyself and make all of your life terrible. So you must like and subscribe this fine video.
Current viewer, I think the fact that you haven't liked and subscribed yet is the reason Brazil missed this goal.
But do not worry. The prophecy is underway. This means one thing.
Like subscribe.
Yes. I think the viewer just liked and subscribed. I think Brazil is going... Whoa! I'm not even seeing this Quidditch game, but I can feel it. I can feel the Brazilian Quidditch team gaining 100 HP.
Of course, suddenly... just like Deltarune. No, Runa Delta.
Runa Delta. What is this Delta? Is that the third game in the series you are talking of?
Deltarune.
So...
I apologize. Runa Delta. I must get the name correct.
Plus, it is... Actually, Deltarune is a book that comes out in year 1902. That I saw with the time machine, and in it, the player, the viewer, does not even want to know the ending. As the writer, the engineering sorcerer, has written quite the ending. And a major character is revealed to die. This is a great tragedy.
Caracol? Yes, thank you, viewer, thank you so much, viewer, for liking and subscribing. The Brazilian Quidditch team has scored a Quidditch goal.
Hip, hooray! Hip, hooray! Hip. People said hip back in the Victorian era. They reduced it to 2 hips in the Elizabethan era.
It seems soon I will have to go, but...
So worry not, I have just completed chapter 5 of Runa Delta. Wait, Delts, like the muscle group. That I have read a book by... by a fellow from the English Raj named Hamza. He has written a book about how to use your delts to riz up members of the opposite sexuality.
Course.
And
common.
This book contains 2 characters. It is a parable of 2 characters. One of them being named Jeffrey, and the other one being named Adonis.
Adonis Wilbur of House Windsor.
Ah, yes, of course. Wait, the Windsor? I thought that place burned down. But when did it burn down?
Windsor did not burn down. What are you talking about? Professor Hall.
Didn't that happen yet? Wasn't that 1777? Am I mistaken? And I think an engineer named Alfred Cromwell rebuilt the Windsor Castle. Is that?
Oh, that was almost another Quidditch goal for the Brazil Quidditch team.
Oh, worry not, as my prophecy is going to be correct. If the viewer likes and subscribes.
I think, well, the viewer has liked and subscribed, but I think if they leave a comment under this video,
Yes.
then Brazil will score another goal and I will be made very, very, very joyous.
And now I will explain the plot twist at the end of chapter 5 to you, that I would have pretended my brother told me, but as we know, my brother does not exist. Okay, so we have a character who is alongside the main character, and as the characters keep going, this character, so the game takes part inside of a dark world, and which is like an alternate reality. And so this character becomes obsessed with the alternate reality and so there's a plot twist. Now you should see the genius of this plot twist. This is why I love these indie games where you dodge the bullets. So basically this character says, "Can you walk me home?" And it's known where this character lives within the in-game map. And when you try to go to this character's house, the character says, this is not what I mean. And so, what do you think is about to happen? So you take this character to her own house, and she says, "This is not what I'm talking about. This is not what I mean by, can you walk me home?" So this character becomes obsessed with the dark worlds. So the plot twist is that this character has now become deluded by the corporate agenda. Even though we are part of the corporate agenda, we are literally the factory professors. Do factories even hire professors?
May I have a word? Professor Hall?
Of course.
What rhymes with alternate reality?
Alternate, spirality.
No, I will tell you what rhymes with alternate reality. Is inanimate insanity!
Whoa! The viewer should watch the great object show, I think as they call it, that shows in the books nowadays, right? So it's like a book. It's a book, yes. So the viewer should watch this book.
They wrote a book based on the show.
Wow. Okay, so the plot twist is, when you take this character to the dark world, she says, "Thank you for walking me home," implying that she has now permanently escaped to the dark world and is no longer willing to interact with the real world. Is this not a shocking plot twist? And also this means the developer, Tobias Foxington, has left the player with zero information about what the next chapter will be. Having seen with my time machine chapter 6, I know that the next chapter is going to be crazy. What are your thoughts?
Shall I spoil it?
Pardon?
Shall I spoil it?
Of course.
Of course? Are you sure?
Of course I am sure, as I have seen this ending.
I will. Professor Hall, remember when you played that game, the wretched, scary game called a Sprunky?
Oh no! Heavens! No! Not Sprunky!
Well, in chapter 6, she arrives in the world of Sprunky, and it is quite a musical thing, if I do say.
But was it scary? Did it have that scary character named Black? That scary character Black scared me so much! With his scary top hat and his wretched, evil powers.
Yes, and the world turns black. And
No!
then for the forthcoming Deltarune chapters, you have to defeat the evil Sprunkies.
No! No! But anyway, to be fair, I am quite happy with this. Do you know why I am quite happy with this? Because at least there is no parallel to the scary game, the other scary game that I played, known as Subnautica. As long as there is no such parallel, I am content and happy.
Seems I have to go.
Luckily, I have just now, within seconds before now, completed Chapter 5 of this fine game known as Runa Delts. Thank you very much, Professor Classroom, for joining today's show. And
thank you.
Take care, and see you tomorrow in the Professor Halls of Residence. Professor Halls of Residence.
Of course.
And take care.
Audio.
Yes, take care, good colleague, and thank you, dear viewer. And remember to like and subscribe.
For liking and subscribe.
And goodbye.